Welcome back to We Don't Color on the Dog. We got with us Sheriff Chip Simmons. Chip, thank you for doing this today.
Absolutely. Good to be here, as always.
Last week was the engagement awards. Thank you for recognizing me in the group of there. It was a great testimony, I think, to the foundation as a whole. It was a sold out event. Live Oak Plantation, which is always a best of the coast winner, did a fantastic setting to do something like this. Talk just a little bit about the award.
Well, when I became the sheriff, we wanted to do more engagement. Our whole enforcement and engagement platform, but we were looking for ways where we can engage even more than we have before. Two levels that we've never seen here in Escambia County. And as we started contacting partners and individuals, we found out that people really wanted to work with us and to help us. People want a safe community, but they also want one where the sheriff's office is seen as a part of them, a part of the community. And that's obviously what any supervisor, any CEO, any law enforcement agency would like to have. So I started to figure out, what, I should probably recognize those that are stepping forward many times without even asking. That they're always there to help us. They want to help again with our engagement. So I thought, let's turn the tables a little bit, because oftentimes our deputies do things that are above and beyond, and we get awards. So let me do something. Let's call it engagement awards. Let's have a unique setting, which the Live Oak Plantation was a great setting. We didn't want to lose sight of the fact that we're a historical sheriff's office and that we are a sheriff's office. So we wanted little boots and the little bow ties and the hats. It just became a very cool little thing that we've got going. And it's worked. This is the fourth year, I believe it was. And it's just our way of saying thank you.
Well, and I feel privileged to be there. You've recognized Dave and Mary Hoxing, of course, with Cat Country, how much they've done for the community as a whole. Robert Hill with WRNE, just such a great voice in the African American community. So to be there, and then also on the slate was Lonnie Wesley, who,
Mhm.
uh, you and Lonnie have always gotten along well, and I still remember when Lonnie's brother tragically died in the jail. A health issue had nothing to do with the jail itself, and we all walked together
Yeah.
uh, to really talk about mental health care and drug abuse and those kind of issues in the community. And we all walk together. Those are those quiet things that you do, Chip, that people don't realize that you do.
Yeah, that was back when I was the assistant county administrator, but I was also the chief corrections officer. And Lonnie Wesley and I have been friends for years, back to the time that I was the assistant chief and then police chief for the Pensacola Police Department. And it gave me an opportunity to talk about these lifelong friendships, really, in these partnerships. We may not always agree with everything an individual does or says, but I know that their hearts are in the right place. And to talk about Lonnie Wesley, I make a little bit of a joke about some of the things that he and I have done together. With you, I made a little bit of a joke, but Ronnie Douglas runs Ronnie's Car Washes, Loyalty Credit Union, Evergreen. These are people that have done so much for us, the sheriff's office. And it kind of warms my heart to know that people that I consider to be good people that I consider to be friends, not just of the agency, but honestly, personal friends. And they're also stepping forward. And I think that there's no better way than to publicly acknowledge the work that we all do and we all do together.
Of course, in that list too was Superintendent of Schools Keith Leonard, who you played football against, which was kind of funny. It was, and Keith, gosh, what a challenge. We know being sheriff is a challenge. Being in charge of a school district in these times is particularly tough, and he's really risen to the occasion.
Well, he really has, and again, it's nothing against any prior administrations. That everyone's done what they think is the best. I can simply tell you, it's probably because of the relationship that Keith and I have, the ability to pick up a phone and say, "Hey, old football buddy, let's get together on this and let's work on a school resource officer issue. Let's work on a disciplinary issue. Let's work on something that makes us better." And again, that has helped us as a sheriff's office, and I think that not only has it helped us currently as a school district and as a community, I look forward, and as we talk a lot, I'm an optimist, and I think with these partnerships, things can only get better.
It really can. The other, we can't not talk about the foundation, but also just talk about Whitney Lucas. What she's been able to do. She was really the first leader of the group and has put it together where it operates without any salaries, and all the money that y'all raise goes back into it goes into helping deputies and families in need, as well as going back into the community.
Yeah, I think, I don't want to throw shade on anyone, but we have zero overhead in our foundation. 100%, every dime, every penny that's collected goes straight to the foundation and to the cause of the foundation, which again is engagement with the sheriff's office, but also the employees of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office when they suffer a hardship, and that matters to us
Right.
here at the sheriff's office. I like to support the ones that support us as a community. I support our heroes. I say that and with a sense of pride that I'm a part of this agency, and I've been a part of law enforcement for 40 years here locally, and to know that there is a foundation, there are people on that foundation that have, again, we talk about people to give back. There are people on that foundation that are willing to come to meetings and come to fundraisers and open their own checkbooks and write checks to the foundation, whether it is a movie night, whether it is our employee luncheon, whether it is the memorial out front of the sheriff's office. These are big things. These are things that's going to transform the way the sheriff's office is perceived, but also our future here in Escambia County. And as you mentioned, Whitney and Brian Williams were two of the founding members of the ones I met with and said, "Hey, let's work on getting a foundation." And they both stepped up, and I can't tell you the amount of work that they do, that certainly that Whitney does on the weekends. And she don't get paid for that. We have a clear delineation of her job here as the chief of staff and versus her job as a president of the foundation. And so she has to put in her own time. She has to work on that stuff outside while we partner with a lot, just like with this foundation a lot, just like we do other 501c3s. I think it's important to note that, again, zero overhead. Every dime goes to the foundation and to their causes.
This weekend, we're coming up on the fair. I know the fair has issued some security rules for it. I know the sheriff's office is very much involved in providing security for the fair. What's going on there, Chip?
Well, for the last couple of years, we've really upped our game with regards to security, and part of that is the video capability that we have right now. So, for the last couple of months, as I just mentioned, we have been working with the fair on whatever security measures that they need. And typically, we don't talk a lot about specifics in security
Right.
for obvious reasons. But I think it's important to note that we'll have around 50, sometimes 60 deputies, depending on the date and the time, that are working on the fair. That's boots on the ground. But we'll also have 6 of our video platforms there will be there. We'll have drone capabilities. Our mobile command bus will be there. And as you mentioned, the fair has put out information that there will be no concealed open carry for people that go to the fair. And also, I think they say you have to have clear bags now, much like you do in a concert venue.
Right.
So our hope is that it can be obviously safe, and successful fair season for them. It's probably the largest thing that we do with regards to a 10-day long fair that has a couple 100,000 people going through there. It's a great opportunity for us to engage, but also we understand that our primary role is safety and enforcement of the laws, and to make sure everyone has a safe and enjoyable time.
Well, and it really is a community event that stretches over into Alabama, and people come from along the Gulf. It is an interstate fair, and
Yeah.
it does attract a lot of people, particularly on the weekends. And I can see it's twofold. You get to get the engagement as well as show the enforcement side for y'all.
To me, it's kind of a traditional thing. Growing up here in Escambia County, I'd go to the fair and I'd always see the sheriff's office there. I knew that it's the fair, but it's also the sheriff's office, and also they have a lot of military presence there, just with engagement. It's when I first became the sheriff, I'm like, this is what I want. I want this to be, kind of like my childhood, where the sheriff's office is. You can't mention fair without mentioning the sheriff's office, and obviously vice versa. So it's a big thing. It's 10 days long, as you mentioned. So we get literally hundreds of thousands of people that pass through. We're not going to lose sight of the fact that it's an opportunity for us to engage. But again, as I mentioned before, primarily our role is in security, and we have a number of people up, again, 50 to 60 deputies. And that's going to be in the parking lot. That's going to be walking around the, where the rides are, and also in the exhibition booth. So we're going to be there, and we hope that everyone just follows the rules, obviously, and has the best time that they possibly can.
Great. Chip, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
You bet. Y'all take care.
All right. Take care.
Thanks for watching, and to keep up with what's going on, be sure and subscribe. Just click on the little dog to the right and click the subscribe button. You can also like this video and click on the bell, which will notify you of new content. This really helps the channel grow. We appreciate you.